From WFRV TV, Local 5, serving Northeast Wisconsin, including Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. January, it is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and this morning we are taking a look at what it is and how bad the problem is in our area. And joining us this morning, we have Noelle Fenwick, and she is the Associate Director of Reach Counseling, and Nora Gonzalez Cabrajal, she is the Reach Anti-Human Trafficking and Exploitation Victim Advocate, both of you. Good morning, nice to have you here today.
Good morning, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Before we get into the nuts and bolts and the details, give me a general definition, human trafficking.
Okay, human trafficking, it has to have three components: fraud, force, and coercion. It's when there's like the harboring, the transportation for a human being for some other means like exploiting. So that is the dictionary definition.
Okay, and when you say exploiting, what kind of exploiting are we talking about?
Well,
here?
usually it's monetary exploiting, like someone is getting money from them, but the person that's being trafficked, they don't get any.
And they're being trafficked in what ways, for what?
Okay, the main two kinds of traffic are labor trafficking and sex trafficking. So the sex trafficking, they are having sex, and then the labor, they are working or they are not letting them leave, and it's against their will. And they don't get any wages, they don't get any freedom.
I would guess most people in Northeast Wisconsin have no idea this is going on. Is this something going on right under our noses and we don't see it?
Yes, it is. It is happening right in our community, right here in Green Bay, in Appleton, all the Fox Cities area, it is happening.
How bad is this problem?
Okay, I can give you a little bit of idea, like country and on the nation and on Wisconsin. Yeah. Like there's between 20 and 40 million trafficking cases a year in the country. And those between 20 and 40 only are reported 0.4% of them. And Wisconsin is the 28th state of traffic and the 29th state on sex trafficking. And
there's a statistic here that surprised me. Average age of the minors that are trafficked in the United States, 12 years old. Accurate statistic?
Yes, it is. It's 12 for girls, and usually for boys is between 13 and 15.
And is it mostly young women, young girls?
The 79%, it's girls, and then the rest, it's boys.
Boys, men and boys?
Yes. Well, there's a bigger percentage of boys. Men is mostly in labor trafficking.
Okay. A lot of people think human trafficking happens in big cities and not in the small areas like Green Bay. Why has this area become fertile grounds for traffickers?
Well, one of the reasons that it is why it's because the highway that we have have a big proximity with big cities. We have Chicago, we have St. Paul, and we have Minneapolis. So that's one of the reasons. Other reason is because Wisconsin is known for their dairy and farming. So that also makes a vulnerable state for trafficking.
So that's the labor aspect of it.
Yes. Well, labor also correlates very close to sex trafficking. They could labor the parents and then sex traffic the younger ones.
And where are these victims being housed?
That's a big problem. There's very little opportunities and shelters for them to be. I work closely with the National Trafficking Shelter Alliance, it's nationwide organization, and they help us put victims where there's no shelters around. Or when I have a survivor and they just want to build a new life and they want to move to another state, they get recommended and then move because there's very little shelters around that they will help.
And when folks are in active trafficking too, like you said, there's that myth that it's happening in these faraway, big, major cities, but it's also happening in our backyard. Our neighbors in regular residential areas, there could be trafficking survivors there being actively trafficked, and you would just never know.
Right. If a young girl is being trafficked on a day-to-day basis, where is she living? Where is she staying? How does she eat? Does she go to school?
Well, that's like a perception that they have, that thinks that trafficking has to happen somewhere else outside their house. No, it can happen inside that little girl house.
You can be living with mom and dad.
Yes, and they will be trafficking
and
you.
still be trafficked.
Yes.
And the little girl doesn't tell mom and dad, I'm being trafficked.
Exactly. And also parents traffic their children. So that's another reason. Foster children get trafficked by their foster parents. So it's not just like they have to be trafficking. They doesn't have to be kidnapped, or it doesn't have to cross a border. It's just happening in your backyard, in your house. It can happen, in the school. Someone could be going to school and being trafficked there, and then come back and living with mom and dad, and that they don't even realize that it's trafficking.
Parents trafficking their kids. You are telling us things that we have never, ever come across before. We have so much more to come about human trafficking right after this, so stay with us. Back now with Reach Counseling to talk about human trafficking. We're talking about trafficking itself. Let me ask you both about your backgrounds and how you got into this, I say, business industry. I don't know what you would call it. How Noelle, did you find yourself here?
Yeah, so REACH is a really great organization that works with survivors of human trafficking as well as survivors of sexual assault. I had a really big passion for that in college, so I actually started volunteering with the organization about 5 years ago, and then worked full-time at the agency after that as a victim advocate, as a prevention educator, and then eventually up to as the associate director here.
In college, where?
University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh.
Okay. Nora, how did you get here?
I used to work for 22 and a half years. I worked as a counselor for the Appleton Area School District, but I always had a passion about trafficking. It's something that is really very close to my heart, and it always liked to read about it, just whatever I could do about helping someone. And throughout the school district in my career, I came across a couple of clients survivors that had a history of trafficking, and I didn't know how I could help them better. So when this job happened, I'm just very, very happy and excited that I could help my clients. And this is just something very close, that it's a really tough job, but it's very rewarding.
You said twice now, close to your heart. Why close to your heart?
Well, I have people very close to me that were victims of trafficking.
Close to you,
yes.
Were victim. Family?
Yes, that were close, yes. And then I have also just, we all of us have a past. And then I have a past that relates to trafficking, and then I just have a lot of empathy for people that are going through that, and I feel that I can give a little hope to them. And if what I went through, I can help them change their life, or at least help them build a new life, I think I'm doing a lot.
Mm-hmm. Who do you serve? Where do you serve? What's your geographic area?
Yeah, that's a great question. So REACH Counseling generally serves Winnebago, Outagamie, and Calumet counties. I will say that Nora's program, anti-trafficking, is unique in the fact that her service will typically stretch those bounds because there aren't a lot of anti-trafficking advocates out there working with survivors. So it's not uncommon for her to be seeing people all the way up in Green Bay or talking to folks down in Fond du Lac County as well, but generally in the Tri-County area.
Okay, tell me about your advocacy program.
Sure.
What's all involved there?
So Nora, like I said, is our anti-human trafficking advocate. We also have several advocates who work with survivors of sexual assault. And then we've got some subspecialties under there. We have some folks who work with youth and teen clients specifically. We have an advocate who specifically focuses on the Latina population and outreach to that community. We have another advocate who focuses on the Hmong population and provides outreach to those communities. And we're continuing to see where can we reach gaps, where can we reach survivors that aren't being served through our services.
And what do you do in the way of prevention and education?
Yeah, our prevention education team is amazing. They go into schools from 4K to senior year of high school, and they talk about what abuse looks like, how to get help if you're experiencing abuse or if your friend is experiencing abuse. And then as we get into middle school, high school, it gets a little bit more in depth, talking about things like coercion, consent, and how to healthily engage without causing harm to each other, and how to protect themselves as well.
And what do you do in counseling?
Yeah, our counselors are within our counseling team. We have folks who work with survivors as well as folks who work with offenders as well. And so our trauma counselors who are working with survivors are really helping them process that trauma, process symptoms of PTSD, and find a way to live a fulfilling, empowered life again after losing such a sense of autonomy. It takes some time to rebuild that sense of empowerment. And then those who work within the offender population are helping offenders who have most often been recently released after serving their sentence, helping them understand why they offended in the first place, and then how can we stop that behavior from reoccurring.
That seemed a little interesting to me when I learned that you folks are not only helping the victims, but you're helping the offenders. Is that tough to do, knowing what they did to someone that you're helping?
It definitely takes a unique kind of person. I give so much credit to our offender team who works with them, and they really do amazing and powerful work to keep this balance of, because also it's important to note that while not every person who is traumatized offends, almost all offenders have been traumatized in their childhood. So it's a lot of holding that balance of, yes, you've been traumatized, and it doesn't excuse that you did this really awful thing, and there needs to be accountability there. And they walk that line so perfectly and really help the offenders that we work with get to the other side and feel like they can live a healthy, nonviolent life.
Yeah, are you getting through to these offenders after they deal with you? Do they understand they did a bad thing and you can't do that anymore?
Yeah, we have really great success rates through that program, and really great just anecdotal feedback from those offenders, one of which had shared that they had been to 3 different treatment programs prior and didn't feel like they were being heard, didn't feel like they were getting anywhere, but then they actually committed to reach with the treatment provider that they had because they felt like they were being heard. And then they completely changed their life. They got full-time employment, they found a place to live, they got into a healthy, consensual adult relationship. And with the data as well, we have about a 7% reoffense rate over 15 years. And when you look at the federal average, it's over 30%. So we really are seeing quite a big difference for those who successfully complete treatment.
We are talking human trafficking this morning, and we have much more to come, so please stay with us. We are talking human trafficking this morning with Noelle Fenwick, the Associate Director of REACH Counseling, and Nora Gonzalez-Cavrajal, REACH's Anti-Human Trafficking and Exploitation Victim Advocate. Ladies, I'm still trying to get a grasp and get my head around how does this start. A 12-year-old girl living at home with mom and dad, going to school every day. How does she get involved in trafficking? Who gets to her? What happens?
Well, usually there's like a vulnerability, and that's what traffickers pray for. Like sometimes they have to be like they are marginalization, sometimes they had trauma, sometimes there's like their ethnicity or race that have to, or sometimes it's just the lack of love. And that's what happened, like the traffickers see something in there that they are missing. And at the beginning, it doesn't have to look like trafficking. It just looks like a friendship. It can be like a boyfriend. It's just like a healthy relationship. And then little by little, the trafficker, that's what it's called, the grooming, that it start turning that into trafficking. First will be like giving them gifts and jewelry and taking them to a hair salon and offering them like actors' careers or offering these big jobs. And then lately, it's changed. And then they already have this bond, the trafficker and the survivor build this bond that there is just so close to each other that the person doesn't feel like could survive without the attention of the other one.
I just wondered, how does the trafficker make that initial contact. How do these two initially get together?
Well, it can start as a friendship. It can be like a coach. It can be a teacher.
A coach, a teacher.
Yes, a teacher, a friend, an aunt, an uncle.
I mean, social media is also pretty common
Yes.
as well. It takes as much as a teen posting about how their parents don't understand them, and then someone swipes up and says, well, I understand you. Tell me more about it. Let's talk about it. Stalking their social media and understanding what they like and saying, well, that's my favorite movie. That's my favorite band, to start to build a rapport with the victim.
And when the trauma is over, when it's finished, when she's out of the hands of this person, what happens? What is the, in terms of physical and psychological trauma? What's that person going through?
Well, there's a lot of trauma. Mostly the survivors of trafficking have a PTSD, complex PTSD for all what they went through. They have a lot of anxiety. They go through depression. Some of them have been in addiction, so they have to go through this withdrawal. Sometimes they already have, because of the trafficker, they have committed some crimes that they weren't aware of what they were doing. So there's a lot going on. It's just not like the mental, it's also like physical, what they went through, and also like the emotional. So it's a long process, and it's like rebuilding their life again.
So your support services have to be crucial and critical to these people.
Yeah, Nora
Yes,
does
I believe so.
amazing work with the survivors that she works with, because oftentimes they are building their life up from the very bottom, whether it's a youth who has just survived trafficking, or maybe they're coming out at 18, 19 and have not developed any of the life skills that a typical 18, 19-year-old would. Trying to navigate the criminal legal system, trying to navigate the medical system. Oftentimes they haven't been receiving medical care during the time they were trafficked, and just this general loss of trust in the community. I think the average person trusts their neighbor and trusts the community that they live in, but survivors of trafficking lose that sense of trust. And so it's just one of the many things, along with interacting with those systems, that Nora does every day with the survivors.
Like building trust, like trying to gain again, and just talking. Sometimes the survivors are so young that been for many, many years that they were trafficked, that they didn't even know how to go grocery shopping. They don't even know how to open a bank account. They want to go back to school. They want to finish high school. They want to get their GED, and then they want to do something. They want to be advocates too. Like I have a couple survivors that's what they want to do, because they feel like I can give something back.
So they eventually lead productive lives.
Yes.
You do have happy endings.
Well, with the good programs like what we do at Reach, with the counseling, with the advocacy, with all that, yes, they can have a life back.
And we continue our conversation. We wrap things up about human trafficking right after this. Stay right there. We are back now to wrap up our conversation on human trafficking with Reach Counseling this morning. What are some of the signs of human trafficking? What can lay people kind of look for?
Well, there are like some red flags that sometimes you are able to see. Like will be like when someone like will don't having like a lots of mobile phones, or they will have like several social media accounts. And they will look like someone will be talking instead of them, like if they will go to a hospital or they will go to a driver's license or something, they will be someone speaking for them. They look like their dress, they will be like very sexually exposed, or they will be like, if it will be cold, they will be wearing like shorts. So they also seem like fearful. They seem like there's no trust. There's like lack of eye contact. They will be anxious, paranoid, like looking like someone is watching me or like someone is behind me, and I cannot talk with someone. So there's a lot of fear. You could sense fear in them.
Okay, there's somebody out there right now who's watching this program, who's either being trafficked, knows somebody who's being trafficked, suspects that somebody's being trafficked. What do they do? Especially the poor little girl who's stuck in the trafficking situation. How can she get out?
Well, trafficking, the first thing that advice that I will give you is don't talk to the trafficker. Like that's very dangerous. Traffickers, it's very dangerous. So the first thing is like call the human trafficking hotline, the 1-888-373-7888 number, or call 911. And then like if you don't know exactly like the names or your job doesn't let you, for privacy reasons, disclose a name, you can just give like a model of a car, like the vehicle. You can look at if it has tattoos, because there's something very particular in trafficking, the branding. That's something that you can say to disclose a little more information. And if there's someone that you know, like if it's local, you can always call the 24/7 Reach Counseling helpline.
Noelle, how can people help you?
Help our organization?
Yes.
Well, we always welcome donations to our organization so that we can continue to do the services that we do. There's more information about our services and how you can get involved, whether that's donating your time or your dollars, on our website at reachcounseling.com.
I've got about a minute. If I'm going shopping at the grocery store, I'm going to Walmart, what should I look for?
Well, usually the things like a younger girls with an adult, and like holding hands or not making eye contact, or the way that also they are being dressed, or just like feeling like there's something in your gut that tells you that that's not like a healthy relationship when you see an older woman or a younger, older man with a younger girl.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, this has been frightening and fascinating, and we just don't know that it goes on in our area. Thank you so much for opening our eyes this morning.
Thank you for
Much
having us.
appreciated.
The more we know, the more we can do.
Yeah, Noelle,
Thank you for
Nora,
having us.
thanks so much. If you have a newsmaker in your town who you think we should have on this program, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7. Until then, have a great day.